Hi, welcome to Carnegie Care. Today we are going to discuss about the anatomy of a preamble. There are as many differences between preambles as there are between constitutions, at least when it comes to content. In structure, though, they all share the same basket of anatomical parts from which they are free to pick and choose. There is a declaratory part that says who has framed the document and with what mandate. The declaratory part of the original Indian preamble we can read as: We, the people of India, in our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. There were lively debates within the Constituent Assembly on the declaratory part, especially the opening phrase, we, the people. And fortunately, there are several books exploring them. Preambles also have an objective part that sets out why the document was framed and what its goals are. The objective part of the original Indian preamble, as we can read, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign democratic republic. In the Constituent Assembly debates, a great deal of attention was devoted to the objective part. It was enormously controversial. The proceedings of the assembly were packed with arguments over whether the term sovereign alone should be used or whether independent should be added to it, whether the term republic should be used or the word state, whether India was to be a union or federation or something in between. As important as these debates were and still are today, they will not engage our attention in this book session. However, a concise and straightforward, thought, not uncontroversial, explanation of each of the final choices that were made by the drafting committee in this regard is available in Ambedkar's 4th November 1948 speech to the Constituent Assembly. But for now, back to the anatomy of preamble. There is a descriptive part that explains how the aims and objectives of the document are going to be realized or fully aware. This is where we find the basic principles enumerated. The descriptive part of the original Indian preamble, as can be read, to secure all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity of the nation. And there is an innovative invocative part. Invocative parts call on in prayer, which usually use the names of gods, which usually invokes the names of gods. The original preamble did not include an invocative part. Although many in the Constituent Assembly were repeatedly demanding the inclusion of one. The two primary contenders for the invocative were God and Mahatma Gandhi, and in some amendments both. First one, Shibban Lal Saxena. Shibban Lal Saxena proposed that for the preamble the following be substituted in the name of God the Almighty, under whose inspiration and guidance the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, led the nation from slavery. Second one, person, Pandit Govind Malaviya. By the grace of Parmeshwar, the Supreme Being, the Lord of the universe. All of these proposed amendments were, thank God, rejected. Let's now turn back to the descriptive part. The original preamble consisted of a mere 44 words. If you leave aside its declaratory and objective parts, from among these 44 words of the Indian preamble's descriptive part, the 6. These are as follows: to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, justice, social, economic, and political, liberty, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity of the nation. The scope of this history is thus extremely intensified or drastically intensified. Not only do we background the Constitution to foreground the preamble, not only do we live the life of the preamble after Dr. Ambedkar for others to interrogate, not only do we refine or sharpen on the preamble's descriptive part, but we fix upon 6 and only 6 words from the preamble, quarantined from the others. The reason, what is the reason? We can understand so that we can isolate the preamble's gene. It is these 6 words that allow us to hack into the DNA of Dr. Ambedkar's preamble, gaining access to many of its secrets.